my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a Q&A. So I actually filmed this earlier today, and it was like a get ready with me Q&A. And then I went back to look at the footage before I left the house and my entire face was like cut off, and I don't honestly know how that happened, but it just did. So here I am filming it later in the day. I was gonna film it tomorrow, and then I was like looking at my planner and I was like, oh, I have a whole lot to do tomorrow. I'm not gonna have time, so I'm just gonna film it today so that no stress, no anxiety, I have some time. My day kind of ended earlier than I thought it would, so here we are. But yeah, I am trying to get back on a schedule like I've said a million times. But yeah, no, I really feel like right now, like, you know, I've moved and I'm in my new apartment. I'm sure y'all saw like my apartment hunting. If y'all don't follow me on Instagram, I probably might not know that, but I did move. My bedroom is not like fully done yet. It's kind of bare right now, but everywhere else is like done in the apartment. I'm going to be doing an apartment tour soon once I get the rest of the stuff from my bedroom, which I'm hoping I will get in the next like 2 to 3 weeks, and I can get that up for y'all hopefully in the next month, the new apartment tour, because I've had a lot of people requesting that. But yeah, so that'll be coming soon. But yeah, I moved with my boyfriend, my high school like sweetheart boyfriend. He moved to New York and now we live together, so much has happened. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you're probably like, what is going on with her life? Well, that's why we're doing a Q&A, people, so that you can hear what's going on and get the answers, because I have had so many DMs of like these answers that are coming into my like the ask me like little thing that you put on your stories on Instagram. So many people DM'd me these questions, so here's y'all's answers. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it because that was a long intro. But yeah, I mean, go ahead and follow me on Instagram so that you don't miss things like that. But yeah, so here we go. Let's get started with the questions. Okay, question number 1 is, how long do you plan on living in New York? Which is kind of a difficult question for me to honestly answer. So it's not just me anymore. You know, I live with my boyfriend, so, you know, that's something that, you know, 2 people have to come on common ground with, but we're pretty like the same on our answers and kind of what we talked about. We don't have like a set time. We're not like, okay, we're leaving in a year, we're leaving in 2 years, we're leaving in 3 years, we're never leaving. It's not like, we're not like, you know, have a set time frame, I guess. We really don't know. I mean, we have this lease, we just signed it, we're here for at least another year, because you can't break a lease in New York or that would be a mess I don't even want to think about. But no, I definitely don't see us leaving before the year's up unless it was like crazy reason. But no, definitely at least another year. We've kind of discussed that we would discuss more detail maybe next January. Do we want to stay and renew our lease for another year? Or do we want to leave and move somewhere else? Our end goal is to move back to Texas. That's where both of our families are, and we want to move to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If y'all are curious, we love that area. We grew up in Katy, Texas, which is outside of Houston. No offense to people that live in Katy, but I don't want to live there. I don't want to move back there. I don't want to have kids there. I want to live somewhere totally different, so I'm going to live in the Dallas area. So yeah, I'm not moving back down to Houston, not moving to Austin. We'll be moving to Dallas later on in life, like later on in life. So yeah, I'm just thinking we're gonna stay here for another 2 years. That's probably what we're gonna end up doing, is just stay here for 2 more years, and then we do want to move somewhere else before we move back to Texas. And we've kind of toyed with the idea of California and Salt Lake City. So I don't know. Y'all give me your input. What are some really good places to look at, to live in? We've kind of thought about like living in like Huntington Beach, living in the OC, and then like going into LA for work and things like that. But I've also I've never been to Salt Lake City, but I have such like a fascination with it. Like, it's so beautiful. It looks so beautiful there. And I've heard great things about it. So yeah, those are kind of 2 places that we've kind of looked at, but we're more looking at California after New York, just because those are like 2 places that it's like, to say you've lived in like, you know, LA, and also to say that you've lived in New York. It's kind of cool, in my opinion at least. I'm also a Sagittarius, so I love travel. I love the whole independence of it. So I don't know, probably 2 years we'll stay here, and then probably move to California. Probably live in California for probably like a year or 2, max 3. By the time I was living here though in New York, that'll be 3 years for me, probably 2 years in California, and then move it back to Texas. So yeah, that's, I don't know, but I'm not 100%. I don't want to like don't quote me on it, but that's just kind of what we're thinking in our mind right now. This is a really good question. Someone asked, how old were you when you started your walk with God? So I was born and raised I was born in Dallas. Well, here. I was born in Dallas and I was raised, like I said, in Katy, Texas. I went to church from the get-go, pretty much. Like, I started going to church, I've been going to church, but I was raised Southern Baptist. I went to a church in Katy, and I went to church. You know, I always believed in God. I've always been a Christian. I've always been really strong in my faith. Like, I've never doubted God. I've never doubted, like, his existence. I've never had, like, you know, a phase where I've, like, rebelled. Like, I've never had any of that. So I've always believed in God. My faith and my Christianity and my personal relationship with God has started since I was really little, and I do thank my parents for raising me in church, because I know people that aren't raised in church, it's kind of hard to really grasp, because when you're a kid, they really, and some people think like, oh, when you're raised in church, like they're like forcing it to you. It's not that at all. Like, I'm glad I was raised in church, because they teach you from a young age how to understand the Bible, and the Bible is so complex, it's insane. So it's honestly the greatest story. It's the greatest book, and it's really hard to understand it. Even as like an adult, I still have a hard time understanding the Bible and some of the meanings and the messages. So if you start at a young age, they really teach you those things, those like hard and difficult messages to understand and to comprehend through the Bible. They like teach it to you at a young age, so I'm glad I have that under my belt. But yeah, I started when I was like 1. I pretty much started my walk with Christ, but I started my independent walk with Christ, and I've really been so into my faith, and just like, I guess like no one's been making me go to church. Like, whenever, you know, when you're like under your parents' roof and you grow up going to church, they're like, okay, it's like a known thing. You just get up, you get your dress on, you go downstairs, you go to church, afterwards you go to breakfast or brunch. But now as like an adult, whenever you're on your own, it's kind of like, you know, it's all up to you. Like, do you go? And so I actually have noticed I go to church way more now. I have way more independent and so strong in my relationship with God, and honestly probably in the best place of my life I am right now. Right now I'm in the best place of my life when it comes to my like faith and my religion and all of that. So yeah, that's just an update on my faith and my religion. I talk a lot about it on my Instagram. I don't talk much about it on here, but yes, I am Christian, and I've been a Christian my entire life. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years, business and personal? So that's a good question. 5 years, I'm thinking Dylan and I, well, personally, I think Dylan and I will be somewhere else. We won't be in New York in 5 years. We will probably be either in California, some other state, some other country, I don't know. We've looked at London, so in Australia, who knows. But we will either be living somewhere else, not in New York, and I think we will have businesses established. I am working on some stuff right now. I have some things in the works that I'm kind of overseeing and planning right now. So those are super exciting things. But yeah, so we are working on that right now. So in 5 years, I'm hoping to have some established businesses, to also be living in a totally different place. And in 10 years, I'm hoping to be back in Texas, settled down, living in a house with a backyard and a bunch of puppies, and hopefully have some kids. Hopefully in 10 years, have like 2 kids, 1 on the way, 3 kids. Well, that'd be like, 10 years from now, so that'd be 30. So yeah, maybe I could do it. I don't know. 2 kids, 1 on the way maybe. I don't know. I want 4 kids, so we will see when that all happens. What's the best part about living in NYC? The best part about living in NYC is the connections, the networking. I've made some of the best friends ever here. I absolutely like love the people here. And also just like the convenience, like everything's here. Like Fashion Week, and like that's kind of superficial. Something like, oh, Fashion Week's here, but like it's nice because like there's all those events, and you get to meet the brands, and you get to make these like connections with the PR team and with the girls there, and you really get to like, you know, just form a relationship with these companies that you only see like behind the screen. So it's really nice because living in New York, a lot of things happen here, so you get to see, it goes hand in hand, the convenience and the networking, because you just get to make those relationships, make those connections, which is awesome. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be? If I could live anywhere in the world, it would be London or Australia for sure. I've been to London, y'all obviously know that, and I fell in love with London. It is absolutely amazing. Like, I'm not kidding. It's the best place. I absolutely like love it. Like, fell in love with it. I've never been to Australia, but me and Dylan are obsessed with Australia. We're obsessed with Australians. We're obsessed with Australia. We like watch every like Sarah's Day vlog together, and Sarah and Kurt are like our couple goals. Like, we could be anyone, it would be Sarah and Kurt. We are obsessed with them. We're obsessed with their baby. Like, we literally love them. So yeah, no, I think we would both agree to like live in Australia if we could. If we could pack our families up, move everyone we know, all of our friends in our family, move them to like a little town outside of like Sydney, Australia, or like Perth, we would literally live in Australia if we could. I've never been, but it looks beautiful, and I feel like it's just another world. It's just another like planet. It's just so pretty. Everyone there seems so nice. Like, oh, I just can't wait to go there in the future. Okay, next question is, do you still go to school at LIM? No. The answer is no. I do not go to school at LIM. I used to, so I did not go to LIM right after high school. I did some schooling before coming here. So like, I didn't graduate high school and then come here. But I did go to LIM. LIM is a good school. It's a really kind of touchy subject because I don't want to offend anyone, and on YouTube you kind of offend at people even when you're not trying, like, at all. Like, even when it could be like the most like non-offensive thing ever, people still get offended by it. But I have heard really good things and really bad things about FIT and about LIM, and I was really skeptical about going to both. I went to FIT and visited and did not really like it. And then I went to LIM and I liked it, but I wasn't in love with the school. That was kind of the issue, I think, right off the bat. But I kind of made myself love it because I wanted to move here and I needed a reason to move here, or else my family would be like, no, you're not leaving, like, you need to stay in Texas. Where are you gonna go to New York? So yeah, I don't know, I just didn't feel like LIM was my school. I feel like it didn't do much for me personally. I have so many friends that go to LIM, so like, no shade, nothing like that, but I think I don't go to LIM, and I think that there's a good reason behind it. It just wasn't a good fit for me. Not that it's not gonna be a good fit for other people. I've talked to so many people that have asked me about it, and I don't go, oh, don't go to LIM, don't go there. Like, I say good things about it. I do like LIM. I think it, you know, is a good school, just like FIT, but it just didn't go with me, and it wasn't my thing. So I ended up dropping out. Now I'm doing freelance work and I'm doing social media, and I absolutely like love what I do, and I'm starting businesses, and it's honestly everything I could have imagined. It's awesome. So I'm glad I'm doing this because this is what I love. This is what I'm passionate about. So yeah, that's what I do. I do not go to LIM anymore, and I do not have my bachelor's, if anyone's gonna be asking me that. And I don't know if I'll be going back for my bachelor's. I don't plan on it, but there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't judge people for getting a bachelor's. I don't judge people for just getting associates, and no one should judge me for just not going back for my bachelor's. I just don't think I think it's personal, and I think it's it's a personal thing that no one else can really judge you for, because, you know, we all do things at our own pace in life. But anyways, okay, I'm pulling up sorry, I did like a second story on my Instagram, so I'm pulling up the next bit of the questions. I had like so many questions from both, but I wanted to like answer a few from here, a few from there, and then save the rest for like another Q&A later in life, you know what I mean? When and how did you meet your mans? So me and Dylan, my boyfriend, we met freshman year of high school. He sat behind me in algebra class. I had no idea who he was. Like, he knew who I was. I had no clue who he was. Actually, Dylan,
What?
come in here.
I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yes. What? Come in here. So I may have just cut out a part of this video. I don't know. Dylan walked in here and he was dramatic, so he doesn't want me to put it in. But anyways, so the question is, how did you meet your mans? So how did I meet Dylan? So anyways, then junior year we actually had English together, and Dylan and I like honestly fell in love with him at first sight. I say that to him, and he didn't fall in love with me at first sight. It's okay. It's okay. Whatever. It hurts only a little bit, but yeah, no.
That's not true.
Yes, it is, actually. But anyways, I fell in love with Dylan. He did not fall in love with me at first sight junior year, and then we actually ended up dating the end of junior year, and we dated for 2 years. We dated for like 2 years, and then we broke up. I broke up with Dylan. Yeah, and then we went our separate ways, and then we got back together, and then Dylan broke up with me.
Yep.
And then he realized that was a stupid mistake. And then we both realized that we were just immature at the time of all of it, and now he's here. And now we live together, and he's gonna go to school here, and is working and all that, and so, yeah. That's it. I mean, we met in high school, we're still together. Yeah, that's how we met, and we're really happy now, but yeah, that's how we met. That's,
Is this for Instagram?
no, this is for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we met, and that's when we met, but
Oh, you don't want me in here anymore?
no, I don't want you in here anymore because you're just gonna make me cut out. Ew! No, you're just gonna make me cut out so much stuff, so no, I don't want you in here
Yeah, you
anymore.
have to cut out like everything, basically.
I'm not cutting out everything.
Almost everything, right?
No. Okay.
You can cut out almost everything. I'll leave
Get
you
out.
so you can cut out almost everything.
Okay, I'll cut out almost everything.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Back to the rest of the Q&A. What did you do before you were a blogger? And did you go to college? Okay, so what I did before I was a blogger, I was in high school. I also worked retail, if that's interesting. I worked retail. I worked at a store called The Impeccable Pig. I've actually made some really amazing friends that I still love. I don't see them or talk to them as much as I really would like, so I really need to. But yes, before I did go to college up in Dallas, and then like after high school I moved to Dallas, went to college up there. I was supposed to go to the University of Mississippi, and 2 weeks before I graduated, 2 weeks before I graduated high school, I was like, no, cut it, I'm not going. I am not going. I don't want to go there. Something told me, like inside of me was just like, do not go there, there's something else, and it was New York. It was to move here, and honestly it was the best decision of my life. So I ended up going up to Dallas, went to school up there, and then came here. But yeah, before I was a blogger, I was just like in high school, and I started a blog in high school, like senior year, and then I started like really getting into Instagram whenever I got here. I hate you. Dylan just like slammed the door and making it freaking loud noises and then laughing like a hyena. Anyway, so yes, I went to college. I don't go to college anymore, but I did go to college, and I did not graduate with my bachelor's. 4 people ask. And then someone said, why aren't you doing Shop Choose Felicity anymore? That was my online store. I actually sold Shop Choose Felicity. I have not talked about that. It's like awkward because I'm like, oh, it's like one of the questions that people have asked me, and I keep like just, I don't know, because I don't know how to bring it up, so I guess this is like as good a time as any. But I sold it. I sold Shop Choose Felicity as my online store. I did it for a while. It really helped me get my feet wet and helped me like really like learn how to run a business, how, you know, what goes into it and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, I love it, but with living in New York, it's very hard to run an online store with inventory, as y'all can probably guess. And I knew it was gonna be hard, but I really like loved it, and I wanted to give 100% into it. And honestly, there were so many other things that were coming into my life at this time that it honestly didn't make sense to run a business like an online store. I will be running a few businesses. I have some other things that I am investing in that is going to be just, it's perfect. It's honestly perfect with where my life is right now, and I'm so excited for y'all to see and for y'all to just hear about it, and I'm just so excited about it. But anyways, for Shop Choose Felicity, I ended up selling it, and I'm glad I did. It was so awesome, and it was like my baby. I was giving my baby away, but I do want to open a store, like a storefront one day whenever I move back to Texas. It's like my dream, and I will be doing that in the future. I know I will. That's like something I've always wanted to do, and it's something I will be doing. But for right now, it's just I had to sell it and it's not in the cards at the moment, and I'm totally okay with it. My camera got overheated, so I just had to like turn it off, so sorry if there's like a weird cut in, but anyways, like I was saying, I think I'm very proud and very happy about Shop Choose Felicity, and I don't regret doing it. I do not regret selling it. It's a good business, and not all businesses not everyone's first business succeeds and becomes like freaking Mark Zuckerberg and like all that kind of stuff. Like, it's not that. You know, it was really good, a really good tester company, and I'm glad I sold it, got some money off that, and now can invest into other things that I'm even more passionate about, which I didn't think that was possible, but it is, so I'm excited about that. And then lastly, someone asked, are you traveling soon? I am traveling back to Texas. If that's what you mean by traveling, I will be traveling back to Texas very, very soon. But other than that, me and Dylan have talked about going up to Boston. I think we're planning on going to Boston maybe either at the end of May or in like the first part of June. And then also I do want to plan on going to California either in August or in June. Probably August, most likely August, and then it'll be Fashion Week in September, and I think Dylan and I are gonna probably go to Paris in September or October. So that's my travel plans that are coming up, and yeah, so that is it for my Q&A. That's all I'm going to answer because the sun's starting to set and the lighting's going to get horrible. So that's all I'm going to answer for right now. But yeah, that is it. If y'all have any other video ideas, let me know. I am totally open to whatever y'all want, whatever ideas y'all have. And yeah, I will have an apartment tour coming very, very soon. Don't worry. And I'll see y'all in my next video. Mwah. Bye.
Funny how the story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd.